Good evening, Gooners. What a weekend we had. Welcome to the show. It's the second leg preview, Arsenal versus Chelsea. We're 3-2 up, if you forgot the scoreline. That was a couple of weeks ago. Before we get into it, please like, please subscribe, and get involved in the chat, as always. Wayne, good evening. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good evening, Tom. Yeah, not too bad, thank you, matey. Just
Have we got Spurs to thank?
Well,
Finished to a nice
some
weekend.
there's some disappointed Spurs fans, but like I'd say, and like I'd say to anybody else, as much as I understand the hatred for us, and likewise back at them from us, they're not in a great position this year, and any win or any point on the board is a plus, is a bonus. Some of their fans are seeing it that they've played into the hands of us and whatever. But if it was me, I mean, we had it with Tottenham. Yeah, you did not want to see it, but I would never ever want my football club to not win a game of football.
Did you watch the game?
I watched the back end of it because it's just Sunday evening bath time, stuff like that with the kids, and getting the kids all up ready and bath matey. So it was in the background while I was bathing the kids. But it's just one of them, Tony. I can understand it in a rival sense. It wouldn't be something I would want to do or I would do. You can't sit there and go, I want my team to lose, because you're sitting 8 points from the relegation zone. Do you if you go and get into Europe, you might not end up losing these players. Oh, right, Romero signed a new contract. Well, if you're 17th again, or you're teetering towards a relegation zone because you've done a good thing by losing to Man City, and that, what's going to achieve next year? What are you going to get? You're not going to get the better players. We had this time. We never went down to that low at 17th, but we was at 8th and we were moaning. But I wanted my team to win.
Evening, Alf. Yeah, you done a good job, mate. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, good evening. Now, look, well, to be fair, mate, for yourselves, yeah. I mean, it wasn't so much for us, matey. It was for yourselves. As I was saying, Alf, it's just one of them. I can't see why people would want to, especially in the position that Tottenham find themselves in. If that was me at Arsenal Football Club, I'd be like, I don't care. I don't care if it hands Tottenham, a 6-point advantage at top of the league. Whatever it would have been 6, 7, whatever it would have been, even if they beat them, Tone. The main thing for me is that my football club needs to get up that table. But listen, look, it is what it is. You can change. I couldn't be like that. I couldn't be like wanting to have my team lose. But it was a good result for them. Good result for us. And we move on to a different competition now, and we got to focus.
Before we move on, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned it, right? Rodri, the stuff he's come out of in his interview, it's unfair, the refs don't want us to win. What an absolute hypocrite.
He shouldn't have been on the pitch anyway. I'm sure Tottenham, if I'm sure Alf watching will clarify it for me, boy.
You should have a second yellow.
He shouldn't be on the pitch. What are you talking about?
That Spurs goal, right? That was a foul, right? I'd say I've seen them give it anywhere on the pitch that's given us a foul, right? They got it wrong, right? And that's a bigger issue, the officiating in this country, right? Because it isn't great. It isn't great. But at the same time, you're sitting there with 115 charges pending, right?
130.
You had the dodgiest decisions going, right, for the last 3 years, right? And that hasn't worked in your favour. Rodri's one of the worst people that can cry a river over it. So look, it was it was a good weekend all round. We've done our job.
Right? One thing I want to add to that as well. Listen, I know he's not going to be watching, but maybe Man United fans or whatnot. They had a patched up. Tottenham had a patched up team. They didn't have any first teamers. They had a lot of first teamers out, and Man City still couldn't beat them. So it's on Man City for not being able to beat Spurs. It's not whatever it is, They were poor, and Rodri, should be really focusing on that.
Tottenham weren't great first half, and City just walked through them at times. But then second half, they, if I'm Thomas Frank, I'm absolutely fuming. If I'm being honest with you,
Exactly, Alf.
where the hell did
Tony
that
will
come
read
from?
that.
Yeah, Alf's put he absolutely crunched. So no yellow card. Yes, the first shouldn't have stood, but amount of games controversy. Roger cannot moan about it. Yeah, no, of course he's the last person that should be moaning.
He shouldn't have told Alf. Listen, that team, and as Tony's just said, that team. That I mean, they shouldn't even be in this Premier League competing. Tone. They have got away with how many? The stuff they've got away with is obstructing the course of justice. How many people would have been done if you were obstructing the course of justice? You would have a jail sentence. They obstructed the investigation into their financial dealings. There's plenty of that, and there's all throughout the years. Yet this team is still competing in the Premier League at the top of the English game. That's what's a disgrace, Rodri. Not you. You sound about referees, mate. Why don't you focus on the bigger picture and the team you play for, mate? You know what I mean? And the fact you should have been sent off yesterday, you hypocrite. Well said, Alf. But you should have done.
Yeah.
Thanks
Evening,
for joining,
mate.
matey.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Massive result weekend coming. Yeah, honestly, it's
vitally important. I'll be there, as I've already said on this stream. I'm going to the Sunderland game by hook or by crook. Hopefully, if work don't stitch me up, I've got to get there sort of like quite pretty sharpish, basically. So by hook or by crook, I will be there. Hopefully, not missing much of the first half. Yeah, it's vitally important, boys. We play again first, and they have to go to Anfield. So we have to do our. Let's focus on us. Let's focus on what we do.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. Everyone's going. Like Tottenham did do us a favour, but we've done our job. We got 3 points. We played before City. We got 3 points, and not only got 3 points. We convincingly got 3 points. Right, a good performance. Evening, Chris, mate. Welcome back, buddy. Yeah,
evening, my friend.
We'll go through it later in the show, but he's gone Raya, White, Saliba, Mascara, Calafiori, Rice, Norgard, Odegaard, Eze, Madueke. Jesus would be the team I would start. Rest most players that played on the weekend. Yeah, look, that's what we're going to get into tonight. I think it's now 3-2, right, at Stamford Bridge. We should have shouldn't have conceded them 2 goals, really, right, when you look back on it. And I think it's caused a little bit more work for this fixture. Now, what would you do, Wayne? Because it's a very tricky result in the first leg, where do we try and nick a goal, shore it up? The fact they've got to get 2 goals to
we have to come out of the blocks, Tone. I think you make it. Listen, we're at our ground. There shouldn't be no nicking a goal, son. You should be going at them. I know exactly.
I'm just trying to get
exactly what you're
mate.
saying.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, Bones. Don't worry. But this is the thing. We have to. It shouldn't be 3-2, right? 3-1 at a maximum. That second goal. I mean, it's in both goals, in my opinion, were preventable.
Yeah.
I'm kind of at odds with my own team selection. Because obviously, again, I thinking about it, what kind of message would it send Kepa if you dropped him? That's my only concern. He was susceptible in both of those occasions at Stamford Bridge. Could be a different game at the Emirates with a crowd behind you, as opposed to could have been a little bit of nerves. This is his old stomping ground. There's a lot of sign that he could have just his days, Chelsea days. He might have had a bit of reminiscing, little flashbacks in his head. Goalkeepers being a goalkeeper, Tone. I can tell you from the lowest level of the game that even so you can be your own worst enemy. So I think he's got to play it correctly, boys and girls, whoever's watching, and yourself, Tone.
Yeah.
That Kepa, you don't want to upset Kepa because that's your keeper at the end of the day in your cup competitions.
Do you know what? That's going to be the big. I think that's going to be the biggest headline tomorrow.
It's a tough call, Tone. Raya will short. You won't know what Raya wouldn't have conceded. We wouldn't have conceded either of those goals with Raya in goal. I will put my hands up because what I say is it's the initial what happened to it in terms of the flapping at the cross, and then it's gone out. And then obviously, yes, you can look at the defenders, but I'm saying there was 2 occasions where Raya would have swept that up. And it wouldn't have led to the goal. At least one of them, maximum one of them. But yeah, he's facing a tough choice because you don't really want to upset a particular keeper. Would he be looking at? Oh, I'm not good enough. He's his cup keeper. But what Mikel has said though, in his defence is, I haven't got a set keeper. So he's kind of, I suppose he'd get out. But what message would it send? What message would it send Kepa if he drops him for the second leg. And that's your keeper you need. But and listen, Touchwood Ray is fine, but you know if you need to rely on him at any point of the season, you need to keep his confidence up.
It ain't like Reyes knackered from the Leeds game. He hardly done anything. They probably, do you know what I mean? He was a spectator for most of that game. You know, that's
he's one clean sheet off. He's one clean sheet off of the record. He did clean sheets he had last year, and that's in 38 games.
Yeah,
and he's got 14 spare left. So, listen, I hope for it again at the weekend. You know, there's been conflicting reports that Xhaka is not fit and Xhaka might be on or whatever.
well, he's not fit tonight. He's not fit for tonight's game against Burnley. Sunderland playing Burnley at home.
Someone else said he might be a little bit further. So yeah.
The only thing I'd say about Sunderland, we'll get into the preview Friday night, but the AFCON players are back as well, so they're at full strength going into our fixture, which is a bit annoying because they've got some really good players.
They have, but I mean, I think they're bad travellers. Tone. You go to Sunderland's, I'd be worried. But I'm gonna be there, and they need to turn up for me, the home boys. All right, I'm expecting it. I need it.
Let's have a chat about our team news, right? Marino is out, right? He's probably out for the rest of the season. Like if you've seen that, he's broken a bone in his foot.
More likely than metatarsal, Tone. You don't recover them. It's 3 months. 3 months could be.
Let's just say they're saying he could be back in April, right? Let's just say I think he's done for the season. He might come back in May, but he's out for the business end of the season where we're going to need him. Now I've seen some links today, and I was like, oh, that Tonali from Newcastle. We inquired about Tonali on loan. That was an interesting one. I mean, could you imagine if we had got him?
I wouldn't say. I don't think it was. Well, I don't know it was on loan. I think what it was, someone was saying this immediately, whether it's you believe it or not, but. I think what it is, mate, is but what I can swing it because I've been going in and off on and off of Twitter all day. I apologise, guys. I will spit my words out. And I think what it is, Tony, is his agents are more so trying to see, Moreno's injured, and the agents have gone, we've got, what that's going to stand him instead for the rest of the bloody season, because obviously the Geordies are like with their play, they're very passionate up there, and they're one of their best players. Agents can palm, what's the name? Farming them out to your bloody, team you don't like. It's kind of it's a bit of rivalry that shouldn't really be a rivalry, really. But after the last sort of a couple of years of planning, it's something I think we could look at in the summer, Bones. But I think it's obviously agent led today. There was a couple of other midfielders linked, which again. You would have thought there's whether we see it. There's Leon Goretzka. He's Bayern Munich contracts coming to an end.
I'll see that as well.
I've known about him for quite a number of years, Tone, and obviously I thought he could be a good player. Whether he's kind of kicked on or not at Bayern, but there was rumours of that. Maybe we'll look in the summer. And also a really crazy one. Whether you want to believe it or not, I mean, it's just all crap. But somebody come on the back end saying that AC we were offered what's his name, Ruben Loftus-Cheek,
I see
an emergency kind of loan thing.
I would have taken him. There's a bit.
Listen, I mean, if it's another midfielder what the problem is. What the problem is, mate, is like someone made a good point. MLS can cover in midfield, which I've been advocating for, but if he's covering in a midfield and you got Calafiori and Hincapié at the moment are made of glass half the time, are they going to be guaranteed to be staying fit in your left back? It is at this moment in time, touch wood, that they're at the club. But yeah, you're going to potentially need MLS to cover left back if these guys can't stay fit, Tone, But fingers crossed they do, because I think MLS is more than capable of covering that. But yeah, it's. Like Chris has just said here, Tone, just media nonsense. Newcastle, exactly.
I found it.
Go until the summer. I had to laugh, Chris, because and I mean, being a postie, I thought I'll have a check. I think I was walking to work. I checked, and then I checked, and I've started laughing. This is like, bear in mind, Tone, this link come on bloody early hours of the morning, between 7:30, 7 or 8 or something this morning. And I just thought to myself, someone here is having a laugh. There is no way on God's green earth that Tonali is leaving Newcastle today, unless by some miracle Newcastle bought in a better player. It's a funny thing, Tone. I knew it wasn't going to happen. But listen, if the links are there, the question we can ask in another blog is to our fans: would you take Tonali in the summer, and would you think it would be a good signing? You know, so it could be one for another day. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a bit of entertainment. Arsenal needed a midfielder, so did someone from the media. Yeah, the media kind of went a little bit, tried to create a non-story, but it is, the rumor is that it was agent led, and these agents normally feed it to these other these journalists, Tone. You know, so even to be fair, David Ornstein has actually, and he's one you can trust, said it's one of them that was never likely to happen today, but it could potentially be one to keep an eye on in the summer. So it's agent led, Bones, today. Very much so. But let's see in the summer, dude. Let's see what's
happening. Salt, mate. But I think that Sherry makes a good point. Evening, Sherry, mate. Welcome back to the show.
Sherry. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining.
Evening, lads. Good bounce back at Ellen Road, and Spurs did us a favour, but Miles Lewis, Skelly and Norgard are there to cover midfield. MLS is trusted in big UCL games at the moment. Yeah, no, I would agree.
Listen, that as long as I said, Sherry, as long as Calafiori and Capier stay fit, you've got your centre back cover, your left back cover. MLS should be trusted to cover Moreno, and even look, we've got Havertz back. You got Eza back tone who plays in Moreno's position.
Yeah,
we have to realise we've got an 18-year-old kid whose confidence is a little bit shot, but he's more than capable of covering, especially as a left eight for Declan Rice when needed.
You
know,
Shavier's made a good point. MLS is trusted in big UCL games like Atletico, Bayern, PSG. I won't take Tonali. Go and buy Anderson, Walton, and Nana at Villa.
Yeah.
I think Anderson and Walton should be our targets in the summer.
Anderson and Walton should be top of your list. I mean, if you look at Nana as well, should be. If you're things as well, you've got to realise, guys, we've got that Boadi as well. The Sevilla youngster as well, who we were linked with all summer, but nothing came. Agume. If I pronounced that correctly, guys, please apologise my English if it doesn't, if I've not pronounced it. But he was looked at as well. So listen, if you've got about 5 or 6 candidates in this summer, what's the harm in looking at Tonali to compare him? But if you're going to tell me what I want, you know, I think a Walton or an Anderson, I do like to look at them. English boys as well. I do like that. But again, just look at yourselves as well. A midfield trio to mix in between Tonali, Subamendi and Rice ain't half bad either. So,
evening, Jess Benday.
If it was still open the window, we would have done.
I would have taken Xhaka.
We wouldn't. Someone actually said, and listen, we're not preempting anything.
He's been good. He's been good.
Someone actually said he's kept Sunderland up, which you can argue he has. They got a hell of a lot of points. Someone said, let him come back to the Arsenal and get the trophy that he deserves.
Yeah.
You know, because as much as he was a bit of a knob when Moreno fell on the floor, now we all know Moreno falls on the floor. I was a little bit upset, but I've had a couple of months to calm down. This is a guy that wants to win, but if he was to come back in all, I know it's never likely to happen, Tom, but it would have been a bit, you know, it would have been nice because he came so close before he left for Bayer Leverkusen. And you know, just come back and do a job to cover for Moreno. It was never going to happen, but there you go. Never mind.
Chris has put Skelly in midfield versus Wigan and Dowman on the right. If fit, would be good to see.
Dowman's coming back in. He's already been confirmed to have signed his pre-agreement bone, so that means when he's 17, he's not going anywhere, and that's very good. Chamberlain
he's actually training
with us, mate.
He's played a few games with the under-21s apparently behind closed doors. So I don't.
Well, we are quite short in our under-21s. We've signed this Dixon, but a guy called Dixon.
Is it Jaden Dixon? Jaden Dixon.
Yeah, he's a centre back and right back. We're also Spurs picked us to this young lad we were looking at, striker.
Scottish fella.
But we've got this Mooney. I don't know if something's going to come out, mate. But the academy, the under-21s have been quite busy. These are not first-team signings, but these are academy signings, Tone. So there's a few. Don't be surprised if you might see a few confirmed, sort of like tomorrow morning or something that we brought them in. But yeah, been a few academy under-21 signings today, mate.
Yeah, Shreve put a very good point in here. Want to touch on something versus Leeds. That Kai and Gyökeres might not work in the Premier League due to the number of low blocks we face. Arteta should dead that, and it's either Ozil or Odegaard at the number 10.
I think it's still. I think it's still
I,
too early, mate.
yeah,
I think.
I don't. Joe, I don't think.
I
I
don't
think
think.
that
I don't think
Havertz
Odie
is
should be. Odie should be at 10. For
no.
I think
I
he
think
needs to. You know, he needs to be taken away from the 10, mate.
yeah. I think that Havertz. One thing that I would say is the presence from corners as well. I know set piece FC and all that stuff, and we score goals any which way, right? Everyone gets the same amount. Everyone gets the same corner as we do. We just make the most out of them, right? That's the difference between us and other clubs. But I would say with Havertz on the pitch with Gyökeres, there's a bit more. I noticed Gyökeres had a bit more space, right? And I do think that if he is going to play a number 10, I think it's either Eze or Havertz at the moment for me. And Odegaard
Yeah,
comes on later on just to manage the game.
he's the control. He's the controller, Shuri. Listen, I get what you're saying. I think as a, if you're going to have anything, I've said on this channel, and Tony, everyone that comes on, because you're regulars, guys. So there's no point me waffling on about it. You guys know my faults, you know. And I think Eza should, if Havertz doesn't play, you got options to, you know, to shop who plays. But if you've got Jesus and Gyökeres as your nines, you know, I don't think Mikel Tone is going to go back to having Havertz as his number 9 only on certain situations. You know, we we've kind of gone past having Erdegaard's sort of like what he does at number 10. Tone is what I'm trying to say. But he what he come on, and I wanted to make sure I put it in my head to praise him. We did after the game, but his cameo was very good. Erdegaard's, right? So we
Yeah,
just need to
he was good.
we need to look at it to go, look, you know, if there's a way against the low block that you play, if you think to yourself, right, I'm going to have Erdegaard and Eza playing in the midfield with a Rice or a Zubi, which I've said in the 6, fine. You know, if you wanted to, if you didn't quite think, all right, this might not be a game for Gyökeres, I'll put Kai on. I suppose I could swing it a little bit, but I think that Gyökeres now is coming into form, that he's getting to a point where you can't drop him due to confidence. So he's at this level that we're trying to wait for. We've been waiting for all season. You can't drop that guy, Tone. So what you've got to figure out is to get a player closer to him. I just think the player needs to be closer to him. Erdegaard doesn't play that way, but what Erdegaard can do is close games out, you know, or start in a 2-man midfield with a pivot at the bottom of it, Bones.
Jaspende's halfway through his vodka and coke by the looks of things. Forget Kai, Odegaard and Eze. Calafiori at 10. He has a passing of the movement of Ronaldo and would look good in the pictures.
What I want to see,
Should we put Odegaard a good cameo off the bench versus Leeds? Let's keep it at the subs cameos. Gyökeres is hitting a good purple patch, so Havertz 9 is not happening anytime soon. And Eze might actually get a run in.
That's what needs to
that as
happen.
well. So he
That's
will get
what
a
needs
run
to happen,
in.
Shuri.
Yeah, it will
But
definitely get
listen,
a run.
I mean, I know what you're saying. It's obviously certain games, Shuri, you know, with the Gyökeres, I know what you're saying. I mean, against Kairat, it might look absolutely phenomenal, and we did say that on the stream, you know. But I still think that there's what Tony was saying is with one pinning the centre backs occupying them. Because remember as well, when Kai was at number 9, Tone, there's been tacticos on X going, oh yeah, you know, that's what Kai can do. Well, yeah, Kai can occupy the centre backs, but if you've got Erdegaard behind him, is Erdegaard going to ghost into the box and bang the ball in the back of the net?
No.
He hasn't done it for 18 months. You know, he's done it in its and bits, you know, little bits. He's not done it consistently. Who's a player that can do that, Tone? Who's the players that will ghost into the box? Eza, Havertz, and in a certain way, Jesus, in a certain sense, certain environment, certain game state. Yeah. That's what you got to stick with, in my opinion, Bones.
Cool. Let's get on to the starting 11.
Yeah, go on. I've been at odds, guys. I've been at odds with myself.
It's videos come out of it. Jasper, about Eze, is it 200% sure that Arteta does not rate him? There are times he has put Mourinho at 10 instead of Eze when he dropped Odegaard, but he he put Havertz and not Eze. Yeah, no, I know what you mean, mate. I generally think
I
he
keep
doesn't really
saying.
back him.
I mean, obviously, the only if there is a plus side, because I think Moreno's a clutch player, and especially at set pieces and stuff like that, and his squad role shouldn't have been understated. Tone, I think Eze might get a bit more chance, or you know, in that kind of regard. He's got to take it, whether it's at the 10 or at the left and left wing bones. He's got to take his opportunity, mate.
This lineup is quite interesting, right? Is 1 second, and even Andy, mate, welcome to the show, buddy. Is there an away goal will win the Carabao Cup playoffs? I think they've removed it now, mate. I don't think there is a thing
gone.
now.
Tony, am I mistaken? Is it only in the semi-finals? Is there extra time, or does it go straight to penalties if it's a draw?
I believe it's extra time. Let me.
I think it's only in the semi-finals, isn't it? I think in the semi. Yeah, sorry guys, but it's a very good question. Thanks for joining, Andy. I just wanted to double check that. Sorry to put you on the spot, Bones. I know that throughout certain rounds you don't have extra time; it goes straight to penalties. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's all throughout the sort of the tournament. But listen, not that I'm saying that it's going to go to, because I'm hoping we get an early goal and get them come out. Open up a bit.
I believe so. Yeah, so semi-final extra time is in there. Anything before the semi-final will go straight to penalties.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, so there'll be extra time tomorrow. Yeah, but no away goals.
That's why you got. That's why you got the multiple stuff to get us the stats up. Cheers, dude. I'm pretty sure, but not that I want it to go to extra time, Tone, because I've got to get up early in the morning. You know what I mean?
We're doing a watch log as well tomorrow, so
yeah. I know.
Be good, guys. Join us for the watch long tomorrow. Hopefully, there's a clock at the top of the screen.
We're trying to do something in a moment, but please bear with Tony. There's new stuff going on. We might have to default back to this one, but we're trying to get it for you guys. So please sort of like bear with us and cool. Tony is trying his best.
I just want to watch a game of football and talk about all this techie stuff. Is
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Tony. If I get in my top call, if I can work it out the iPhone to get there, I'll have it on my screen, guys, and you can look at the clock from mine. But yeah, it's nuts. It's causing Tony some issue, guys. So please just bear with us. We're trying our best. At this moment in time, we're newbies to the watch along, but please come join us.
Either way, there'll be a watch along, guys. That's what I'm saying. Cherise put Kaya number 9, Eze 10 works. We're going to miss Marino goals, so we need someone to step up. Big shout out to Martinelli, quietly having a good season personally. Your Chris starts for me if we were doing Eze at 10.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, mate.
Well, I think Wayne was probably pulling his hair out earlier trying to do this predicted 11, because you have to. Arteta has probably got the same headache, because Jesus has come on again, done a great job, but then he started against Man United and done absolutely all. So I think you're right there. The problem that we have got with
this game, a good shout, my friend. Yeah. That's it. If Ezra's at the 10, I get that.
Does he go, Wayne? That's the question we got this one. The one thing I would say is, because on a Tuesday, I reckon.
Sorry, mate. Would you do Kai up top? Sorry, James. Go on. Would you do Kai up top instead of Jesus?
I think I would. If you're not playing Gyökeres, I think stick him up front and put Eze behind. Yeah. I would do that. That's a good shout. We'll put Martinelli up front. He's our star striker, isn't he?
He's definitely our star striker. For me, though, Tone, this is what it was. You know what, though? I think, obviously, other than... I think that Eze, Martinelli and Madueke should start. If Saka is obviously a little bit touch and go, is apparently, Arteta said in his presser today that he's not totally serious. But I wouldn't even start him, even if it wasn't, right? If he's fit for Sunderland, then, of course, you can do it. But I would have that. Jesus Kai. I mean, look, Gyökeres can be, as I've said before, he's been such a subject of a lot of criticism, Bones. But he could be a difference maker in cup games and the back end of the season. I just think he's getting started, mate, personally. So I think it's it should be seen as a drop. This is me resting him, but I can see if he start. I wouldn't complain if he started in time.
Let's read these comments out. No, it's a very open lineup. You have Norcard alone in midfield. Chelsea are firing under their new manager. Yeah, good point. They are quite explosive.
I was trying to think of if I put MLS in midfield. Subi and Rice have played a lot. If you're going to play anyone, I'd say you'd have to play Rice. I
think Odegaard in the 8 is what I think he's sort of getting at, because Odegaard ain't going to get that cover. Is he in that deep line role? He's not going to. He's very good on the ball.
Odegaard is a feather adjustment. You're right. You're right.
Offensively, it'd be great. Defensively, he's going to be a problem. Jasper has put as a defensive contribution is very well known, and Odegaard is a feather.
Yeah.
He is. He is going full strength range. It's a normal 11, except Madueke. He plays apart from Saka. Do you know what? I take that point, Tree. I've got a feeling. I know Wayne's gone with a little bit of an adjusted lineup for this game, but I do think the temptation there is going to go full strength because we've got a bit of a cushion now, and we don't play until Saturday. So he's playing again on Tuesday night. He might make a few little tweaks, but I think Rice starts this game. I think Zubi starts this game.
I think we're good enough. Other than what it was, guys, and I was having an eye because I thought Norgard deserved to start in terms of, but I'm thinking, we're good enough to beat this team, Chelsea, with this team. But I was kind of umming and ahhing. I would have, if you're going to put a Norgard in the middle, I'd put him with a Rice or a Zubi, definitely. You could put Erdegaard, but again, I was going to do Erdegaard at the 10, and then I realised I got no space for Eze, and I think Eze should start the game. So yeah, I was going to put MLS alongside Norgard and put Calafiori and Cappy.
Calafiori didn't start against Leeds, so I think he starts this game at left back.
Calafiori could start. Listen, guys, you got to realise one of them.
Spain's predicted 11, not the.
It's not what should be. But listen, guys, I think we got enough in attack to do it, and I think Mosquera and Capier could be good. But listen, it's not going to be, as you say, it will be a strongest 11. It could be a 9. He's got to change a few things, Tony, in my opinion. Yeah. You know what I mean, from Leeds.
Jaspender makes a very good point here, mate. Odegaard should start. It will be an open game which would benefit him since Chelsea will attack to equal on goals ahead. Yeah, so Chelsea have to come out. It's one for me to think about.
Odegaard. This is an Odegaard game, Jasper. That's why I wanted to put him in.
And Andy's gone with. Do we need someone more than MLS to contain Estevar?
Could be Calafiori. Just
team news there.
Tony just said.
Some team news there, lads. So Jamie Gittins came off injured versus West Ham, so he's uncertain. Estevar's out on compassionate leave, so that could be big news for us.
That could be, yeah.
And obviously the others that are normally out, you've got there's Adebayo. I think they're centre back. He's out of a thigh injury, returned mid-February. You've got Esago, not back until late February. Latvia out, thigh injury, long-term absence, and then you've got Carwell, who's at ACL injury long-term. So they'd have players like Daniel James and stuff like that, and fucking moped twat Cucurella. I fucking hate that guy. He does. Joe, what did anyone see Adama Traore absolutely sling him across the floor?
That was as much as West Ham and
what a legend
were taking a piss at me. I thought well done.
And you see Joel Pedro push him. Have you seen that Joel Pedro push him and literally shit his pants?
Yeah.
It's like, he's just, I wouldn't have pushed him. I'd have gone, you can get up my head and deal with that. I'm dealing with that guy.
I'll tell you one thing about him. He's a unit. I mean, if he's one of them players, and a separate note to his strength, that he's one of them players that if he had an attacking brain, he'd be a fucking phenomenal footballer because he's got the body for it. He's got the pace for it. It's just his football intelligence isn't quite there, but he's an absolute unit.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't.
I will say, right. This is one thing I will say.
This is what I was going for, Chris. That I think he's better than 8. I think he's light. He's just too lightweight in the tackle, Chris. But he's better as an 8.
Wayne, on every stream we'll say that. I don't think Arteta would ever do it though.
No, mate. I know.
The stability in that midfield.
100%, mate.
One thing I would say, Cucurella, right? One thing I'd say about him, for some reason, he always seems to know how to play well against Saka and defend against Saka. It might not be a bad thing that Madueke starts on the right tomorrow, or even Martinelli, because Madueke is a bit more of a direct winger, right? And I think Cucurella can't deal with stuff like that. I think with Saka, Saka's going to stop going inside. So I wouldn't be surprised. What Madueke needs to do is draw in that foul very quickly because he's like a little fucking Yorkshire Terrier, the geezer. Like, he'll go straight through him in the first 5 minutes. Get that first yellow card, and then just run at the guy. I reckon he'll get sent off if you're not careful because he's desperate in the tackle. He's annoyingly good at times, I must admit, and he come on and change the game against West Ham. But yeah, look, Cole Palmer's going to be in there. You've got the Lap who does something. He's very similar to Gyökeres in terms of he's a bit of an annoyance to defenders. So it's an the only thing I would say, and we're going to say it on this stream a lot, is the fact that Chelsea have to come out. They're 3-2 down. They're in a semi-final. They're going to have to come out, right? I don't think we're going to come out the blocks. I think we're going to come out to play football. We're going to move the ball around, right? They're going to have to come out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a high press, try and nick the ball and try and get a goal early. That's going to be their tactic. But this is why I think he's going to go a lot stronger, Wayne. I think just see the game out, maybe nick a goal, nick 2 goals, and then start making our subs. Because it's the final at the end of the day, and I think Arteta needs.
I agree with that. We do need it. It's a starting point, Tone, to bigger things.
Yeah, this is not just a trophy.
I'm just worried about the Saturday bones, you know.
No, I know. But
we need to win that to go 9 points and put the pressure on Man City.
Yeah,
that's why my head was with this lineup going, you know. But yeah, I'm with you. It's just you've got to juggle. It's a tough one to juggle. It gets a little bit easier, doesn't it? Obviously, who have we got? Is it Wigan or Reading?
Wigan, FA Cup.
It's Wigan in the FA Cup. You could do a lineup.
It's the business end, Wayne. Now we've got through the Christmas period was the hardest period. I think there's less games now in February as well. Start slowing down a little bit.
Unfortunate thing, Tone. Fucking internationals are going to come back next month, mate. I fucking hate them.
Yeah, if I'm Arteta, I'm making Declan Rice say he's got flu or something. Do you know that? And
he will play. The only thing I will say about Tuchel, whether people like him or not, is he does tend to rest Saka, while Southgate, Rice, sorry guys, but Rice he does tend to take off. Southgate would leave Rice on in a meaningless friendly for 90 minutes straight. He wouldn't give a crap, you know. So at least Tuchel seems to be willing to at least just give him 60, 70 minutes and go off he goes, sort of thing. So
I'll be on the end of the phone going, if you're taking him, you're playing him 30 minutes tops, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, exactly, mate. It's just meaningless friendlies, Tone. You know what I mean? We're in the World Cup now, so what's the point, you know? But anyway, there you go.
I get it, yeah. Let's get through some of these comments, mate. Thank you for your comments. It's been great tonight. As always.
Thank you, guys. As usual, thank you very much.
Make sure you smash that like button. It does help us out. If Saka is not fit, Martinelli on the right, Eze on the left, and then Odegaard 10. Everyone fits.
It could be another opportunity. I didn't want to drop Madueke after his performance against Leeds. I get what you're saying, though.
I'll keep momentum going, I think, for that, hasn't he? Shall we? Wayne, I feel sorry, but we have to flog Zubi and Rice till the Wigan game. It's a home game and a win guarantees a cup final. Sorry. They have to suck it up. We play Sunderland on Saturday, Brentford on Thursday. Yeah, no, you got to. They
are vitally. Listen, they're winnable games. Brentford have been in good form, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying, mate. You know,
Arteta will look at that and go, you know, there's enough respite in between for us to manage.
Listen, like Tony said as well, Shuri, if it gets to 60, 70 minutes and we go 2-0 up, and they've got to get 3 goals to get anywhere near to get it back to extra time, and I say then start making the subs again, sort of thing. Yeah, I get that. Maybe a few sort of like changes. I think Eze, at a minimum, and Odegaard should start from the team against Leeds. Obviously, Hincapie played, sorry, and you can put maybe Calafiori there. Maybe I'd also play White at the back. If you're going to go with Saliba and Gabriel at the back for solidarity, and if you're even going to put Raya in goal, I'd put White at right back tomorrow night, and I'd also put Calafiori. But this is me going. I'm confident this team could beat them anyway. In fairness,
I think so. I think
after watching it go stronger, boys. I know. I appreciate all the comments. I was just thinking today what it was. The attack can pick it. It can't pick itself because there's so much options. You know, it's just obviously I was looking to try and wrestle. But listen, I get what you're saying, boys. Maybe you might go with one of them and put Norgard alongside them. And then he can mix and match. I think that could be it. But we need to get to the final, boys. It is vitally important at any cup game. And this I've said it before, so I won't contradict myself. We need this. We need this as a kickstarter. You know, you lift that trophy, Tone. You're competing and you're winning games. You're edging towards getting to the points tally. You need to win it. Win the Premier League. You've got a Champions League and FA Cup. You just got to keep winning every game you can. We need this. It's vitally important.
I'm going to change the name from Carabao Cup to the Mentality Cup.
Yeah,
because it literally is the Mentality Cup. If we win
the
that
problem, do you want to know why? A lot of people, guys, and what you've just said there. I want to just go on to your point. And for those watching, whether you're Arsenal fans, we know we've had other fans come on and they do join the channel. We do appreciate it, but the problem with the media, the problem with ex-players, Man United, ex-Man United players, ex-Liverpool players, you get skulls. You've got Nicky Butt now coming out from his shell, from
Cool, Nicky
wherever he's
Butt.
been,
No.
where he's been hiding for God knows how long. He comes out with his mates skulls, and they're doing a little podcast, and they're all running Arsenal down. You got Jamie Redknapp going, Arsenal. This is Arsenal's title. There's still 14 games to go, guys. You got to realise that every one of these, the reality is starting to set in with people, Tone. Right? If we start winning stuff and we win that first title, there will be no stopping this group of players from winning it constantly. They know, and that's what hurts them so much. And this is what every media, you see every negative thing about Arsenal. You see every negative thing about Gyökeres, because as a striker as well, they're worried, oh, look, if Arsenal got a number 9 that can be a menace if he starts hitting form. That's why they're running him down, because if he starts hitting form and banging in 25 to 30 goals, that's game over, really, isn't it? Because Arsenal haven't had a 30-goal striker, 25, 30-goal striker since, like, say, Aubameyang hit decent numbers, didn't he? Hit 25 or 30 in a whole season. And actually only done that once, but we haven't had a prolific striker. So they're running him down. They're running every aspect of the football club down. There's only one reason, Tone, and that's because the moment we start lifting trophies is the moment it's game over for a lot of it, especially these players. They start winning stuff, that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Let us catch up on these comments, Wayne. There's quite a few in there now, mate.
Well, matey.
And also, Palmer, I guarantee will get a bellyache on Tuesday. Palmer never plays against us. He's always got.
He doesn't like playing against us, mate. He'll starting to come up. Yeah.
Should we put, if we score the first goal, the first goal game tomorrow, the first goal in the game tomorrow, we're going to Wembley. We need to start quick. Go 2-0 up. It's over. Take players out of Sunderland, out for Sunderland. Actually, those Garnacho goals pissed me off. Yeah, they did, mate.
Listen, mate, it shouldn't have happened. It 100% shouldn't have happened, them goals, mate.
Yeah, Jaspende said we also need to separate Saka and Odegaard, maybe because they fight between them. Otherwise, every game the team is playing their game, and Saka and Odegaard are on their own cute world with each other. Yeah, they do the same shit, mate. They go.
This is the thing. It needs to happen. I think obviously the idea was that Saka wasn't going to play, wasn't going to play with Odegaard. Obviously, Odegaard weren't going to come on. If you're going to ask me who you're going to drop from the team, I'd have to say over Saka and Odegaard. I'd say Odegaard. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's there's different things. These people, yeah, maybe that's the thing. Different. You need different profiles sometimes. You really do.
I'm not worried about the league anymore. Remember, I told you guys, he won't solve City's problems until he multiplies by 4. Yeah,
as a whole unit, mate. Yeah, I get that. I said that. I don't think they're the same, Bones.
He's a good defender, the guy, but he didn't look great yesterday in that City squad. He wasn't the world beater that we all thought he might. So I'll take your point.
No, but what I'm saying to you, Tone, and what he's getting at there is that it's the whole back line. And until they get like a Gvardiol back and Diaz, and in fairness, they're not going to get it back. Liverpool will more than likely turn them over, right? But I don't think even if they had, by the time they get Diaz obviously I think Gvardiol's out anyway. Even if you're having like a Diaz and Gay defence, they're left back. They ain't got a proper left back. Haven't got a proper right back. They're going through it. They're trying to get Semenyo. Semenyo is a moments player. Other than that goal, he struggled. He was struggling. He's just a moments player, Tone. He was doing it for Bournemouth, and it's one of them where you can't rely just on Haaland's out of form, and this is where you go. Your defence can't save you. And if Haaland's out of form, doesn't matter what it is. Doku and Semenyo can get on certain opposition, but they're going to struggle. And I don't think City are going to get over 80 points. Villa have shown that they're a top 4, top 5 challenging team. They will start to drop like they did. They lost to Brentford, a 10-man Brentford. So they're not legitimate challengers. So the only legitimate challengers currently close enough to us are City, and I think they'll still drop points, Tone. But we have to do our job. End of discussion.
Yeah,
do your own job.
Yeah. Shaviz put, if internationals come back, any player who goes to international is dumb, as hell Saka and Rice have secured their spots for England. So do you want this title and trophies? Yeah. But I don't know.
Look what happened to Gabriel playing that meaning Brazil.
If I'm Arteta, I'm on the phone to and go, look, leave my guys here. I know you're taking them to the World Cup. We know Rice ain't going to not go. Saka's going to be in that squad. Right. leave them there. I'm going for a title, mate. We're paying their wages as well, right? I think Arsenal should have a bit more of a say in certain times, but I know there's a World Cup coming up, but it's a really shitty time to do an international break as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Right in the business end of the season, like it's ridiculous. But yeah, Jazz Penny put, the thing is, Arteta does not rate Eze, but he has put Mourinho and Havertz before him in a 10. Both are number 10s. One day he will put himself before he puts Eze. Yeah, I think
I don't think it's necessarily that, matey. But yeah, I mean, the question you
I
have
get the
to
point
ask,
now.
Tony, is
I get the sentiment behind that.
I
Arteta does.
I get what you're saying, but you can't lay out 60, 65 million. He should have just said, look, you know, in the summer, you're not really my player. I love you, Ebbs. You know, I know you love this football club, but you know, I think obviously, you know, you'll be better off going to Tottenham.
Yeah.
He signed him for a reason, and I do not believe that he doesn't rate him. I can't judge that personally, mate, but it's up to Eza to show it. He's got it in him. He's got it in his locker. But as I said again,
But he
if
needs
he's
to run the
playing
games, Wayne. That's my argument. He needs to run the
he
games
needs to come on. He
do it.
needs to play at the left wing, Tone. If you're going to have Havertz and 10, Eza needs to take Trossard's place.
I'll put this point out here, Wayne. Right, if he doesn't start Eze tomorrow in the semi-final of a game, a cup game, that tells me everything we need to know as supporters. He does not trust him one bit.
He will. I think he will. I mean, he didn't start. I don't think he started at Stamford Bridge.
No, he come on as a bench. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. If he doesn't start,
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But Jazz, I mean, and yourself, Tone. I'm right. I'm annoyed in a sense. Listen, you guys know that. But when we signed it, I wanted to sign Eza for a while because I think he's one of them guys that is a maverick that this team can sometimes use. You cannot sit there and tell me, other than the fact that Trossard knows the way we play and knows what Arteta wants of him, that Trossard is a better player to start on that left wing than Eza. No one's going to convince me otherwise. What Trossard is a clutch player. And this is not me slagging Trossard off. This is me saying Eza's got to find his role. And if it's not in the 10 because he wants to play Havertz, it's between left and 10. And he has to find his way. You don't sign a player like that for that amount of money and not think he's going to play anywhere. Havertz was signed. People were saying he was signed as a left centre. Maybe he was signed as a left. I still believe he signed him to have he didn't have the right proper striker profile to put Havertz in the 10 at the time. And of course, then, because obviously you had Eddie Nketiah, Jesus was in and out of getting injured.
Yeah.
He didn't have the right number 9 profile to put Havertz behind him. So what did he do? Havertz is my number 9. Havertz stayed in there. We won good runs, right? Now he's got that opportunity time where he's gone, I've got a proper number 9 who does what I want a number 9 to do, and I want to put Havertz behind him. That's where Eza comes in, and he's got secure on the left-hand side. Eza, Havertz, Saka, Gyökeres. That can win you a title. That's my opinion.
Cool. The chat's going off. I think there's some good discussion points on it, gents. Really good discussion points and ladies. But Andy's put to Jess Penny, Zubimendi cannot play 6 on his own. Weiss has to waste a lot of cycles to help Zubi. To play luxury Eze, we need an independent 6. Very good point. We do need, I think, to Eze to cement his role, and he has to have that freedom role, right? He's not going to be that guy for us that's going to track back and close down gaps. So, sure, he's put the lads. I'm just watching every goal we conceded this season, bar the goals from Cunha, Dongle, and Soboslai. Every goal we have conceded has just been comical errors. So please cut out these mistakes. Yeah, they have been.
That has to be cut out.
Yeah, they have been. Actually, we ever concede mistakes or bangers? Yeah, exactly. Well summed up.
The worst thing about this football club, guys, and I brought it up the other day, and especially against United, we concede a goal every time an opposition has a crack at goal. They score. We limit them. We're not Unai Emery, where Watford had 20 odd attempts at our goal. We don't have that now. We shut all that off. We've got, he coaches them to within an inch of their lives, and they know exactly their roles. But we concede on the first mistake, the first turnover, and you're like, we've been over this team. Like you're controlling the game. The moment they have a breakaway, bang, goal, and you're like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
it's weird, guys. It really is in that sense because I know football can surprise you all the time, but you're like you create opportunities to, and how he likes to control. That's why Ez is on there. It might not be attacking wise at times, but he wants Ezra to control Erdegaard, sorry guys, to control the game. And then the moment you lose or moment of turnover, bang, goal. And you're just like, mistakes, turnovers, it's a goal. That's got to be, that's what, to nullify, you have to nullify that thing. And it was a start at Leeds, guys. It was definitely a start at Leeds because we limited their attack big style. So we can do that to the majority of the rest of the teams we're going to play. We got to do that. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. That cut this silly nonsense out because they score from it. Simple.
Yeah, no. So Sharif puts Semenyo 0-6 dribbles versus Gray and Doggy versus PSC have gambled their season on Rodri coming back to his world class level. He isn't at that level, so that's one bar from Turkey. No one is performing. No, I think Haaland's gone a little blip as well. Yesterday, he weren't doing a lot. He was easily
out of that game. He has.
I am 1,000% sure he will not start. This is Eze, by the way. I think other than when injured. Eze has only started in nothing games, Portsmouth or Kuwait. And
currently, yeah. But I still think, matey, that it's like has been put. Trossard his purple patch is over. He has to find his way in that team. That's the position he needs to play.
I don't think he's going to play him. I really don't. I think he's going to put Odegaard in there. I think he's literally, because Odegaard come on, right, and he done well against Leeds when he did come on. He had a good little cameo, played that pass. And I think that'll be enough to justify Arteta starting him tomorrow. And don't be surprised if he starts in at number 10 because he's a captain, and it'll be it'll be that they'll trust him more to get us over the line to get to a final.
Yeah.
Whereas I think
I'm going to go. I will. I've just got to quickly go to the toilet, Bones. But yeah, I'll be back.
You're in your bladder, mate. You're getting old.
Mate, I'm more than getting old, but I will be back, son. Keep taking the comments.
Keep your comments coming in, guys. Jess Pende's put, whatever you say about City, their recruitment is crazy. Turkey for 20-30 million, crazy. If he was for us, he would have been the best 10. Yeah, no, Turkey's brilliant. He forced a really good save out of the Tottenham keeper yesterday. Really quick feet. Yeah, no, Joe, what? When where was Turkey at? It was at a French club. My mind's gone blank. Like it was when he was 16. I think we was looking at him, but we didn't make the move for him. But yeah, he was a really good still. And they got they bought Haaland for 45 million. They didn't pay massive money for Haaland either. So yeah, no, they do really good business. Sure, he's put the manager actually called out Odegaard in the press conference that he doesn't want him to come deep to collect the ball, and he wants him in the pocket. So Odegaard's defying instructions or what? Well, I think he is. I think he's one of them players that if he's not in the game, he doesn't want to get judged, so he drops in to get the ball. But all he's doing is disrupting Zubimendi and Rice, and it does wind me up when he does that. Doesn't need to do it. Doesn't need to be there. And this is why Havertz had such an effect. I know it was Corretto Matti, but even against Leeds, there was more open spaces. Gyökeres he was playing with a little bit more freedom, Gyökeres. And I don't know if Havertz frees up that space and he makes the defenders move into them areas where they've got to think about him as well. So, but yeah, I generally think that maybe Odegaard is defying Arteta's instructions. Or is Arteta throwing him under the bus there? It's an interesting comment.
What another thing, and I've just obviously caught up with a comment, and you're right, Cherie. Turkey's good at Jazz for I mean, I don't believe the amount of money they got him for. There's got to be some backhand. There's got to be some backhand.
Really
listen, they say they signed Haaland for 51 million. I don't believe that. I don't believe that one job whatsoever. That's what they told the financial, when they have a look, don't they? Obviously, they have to declare your financial stuff. I wouldn't believe in that. But yeah, listen, I'm with that. But Erdegaard coming on time.
Before you go on something, let me just read this out. Just Perez made a very good point there. It's going to actually Odegaard comes from Madrid, who came from Spain. Even 10s from there do the same thing. Like it's in their DNA. I think you're right there. Sorry, Wayne. They do in La Liga. They do that. If you look at Xavi and Deco, right, for Barcelona, they would never sit in them roles. Even Messi. Look at Messi. He'd come into midfield to get the ball. So I do take that point, but I think it's mute in the Premier League because as soon as you drop in deep, two banks of 4 sit in front of you, and then you're sitting there with Rice and Zubimendi, you're not breaking the lines.
Yeah.
Whereas if he stays in that 10, then even if they do have two banks of 4, you're creating options for us to get around that low block. Because he comes in, it makes that low block 10 times harder to break down. Sorry, Wayne.
No. Listen, don't apologise at all, mate. Listen, it's just got to be. We've got comments. We've got our guys that we've obviously got. Everyone's got to have their say, sort of thing. It's like if you look at Sunderland, if you've got a team that's going to come to the Emirates and low block, like look at Wolves. Sometimes get a lone 6 in there, because they're going to put two banks of 4, like you said, Tone. Sometimes they'll even play a 5-4-1, have a lone striker to try hit on the counter. So you've got to break down 9 players in the block, right? And the number 10, even the striker drops into his own half, sort of thing. That's a tough one. That's when you should play a lone 6, which Declan Rice, in my opinion, has got the athleticism to do that. Norgard in a certain sense as well, but obviously in the big games you're going to want to kind of rely on Rice, and that's when you can have your player like because what it is as well. People are saying with Eze, and what I think he's been used wrong by Arteta, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what it is he's obviously link up with the right hand side and do the role that Ødegaard would occupy, in argument's sake. And as a number 10, as I've said, he's either, if he's a support striker like he did against Tottenham, because Moreno was the striker, fantastic. He could also be effective, like someone has already said, with Kai up top. Because what Moreno done is he interpreted that role like Kai interpreted that role, But this is where he's coming from, and the difference is he is a left-sided player, Tone. He's not necessarily a left winger, but he plays from the left. So this is why I kept saying throughout the summer, all right, we didn't sign Rodrigo, we signed Eze because Arteta was going to utilise him on the left. Trossard's had a purple patch and Eze's not looked in, so he's gone to number 10. And then the moment he puts him at the left side, he loses Matty Cash. Okay, fair enough, that's a defensive mistake, I get that. But, that's who he is. He is your luxury player. So if you're signing a luxury player, I'm not saying you have to build the whole team about Eze, because the team's got a different identity. You should not sign a player like that unless you need to utilise him, because he's a maverick. The same thing with Noni. He's not going to play instead of Saka when Saka's fully fit. But what Noni does when he's got terrible finishing, although thankfully he's actually been gifted that goal, Tone. So he's now got a golden assist in the Premier League.
So he's
right?
Cool.
So he's finally off the board. But he creates chaos. We need at times chaos creators. Yeah, that's what Eze and Ahmad can do at times. So that's why I think I get what people are saying, but it's also up to Eze. I'm also not gonna hide from that fact, guys. But like with Gyökeres, I wouldn't hide in my support of Gyökeres. I'm not going to hide in my support of Eze. I still believe Eze's got a role to play, and I think his role in this team going forward should be where Trossard plays, and because he trusts Trossard gets in ahead of Martinelli. He's always playing Trossard. At this moment in time, Trossard is ahead of Eze. I think if Eze can adopt the way Trossard plays, but add that extra maverick in him, that ability to put the ball in the back of the net from 25, 30 yards, or the way Eze does it for Crystal Palace, that's where he's got to adapt his role. So it's a meet in the middle. Gyökeres is trying to meet in the middle. Everyone else is trying to getting onto his wavelength now. Eze's been taken out of the team, and everyone's going, oh, he's not that great. Well, he's not played. He's not had a run of games. He's been taken out. It's up to him as well, though, Tone. His role in that team, in my opinion, is from the left in what Trossard occupies currently.
Cool. I think that's some of these comments. They're flying in. Guys, the comments have been great tonight. Good discussions. Shreveport, I don't want to diss Eze, but I love him and play with it. I love him and play with intensity. He's too relaxed. Like Xavi Simons last night versus C. Eze is clear of him, but when he starts, I want him to force the issue like that. Simons was quite good last night, and he did force the issue.
Step on your toes there, Sheree, but you made
it was driving through the lines there. He picked up the ball and he was driving. He was moving. I don't know if Alfie stood on, but I thought he was brilliant last night. Simons, he was.
Simmons ups his game, and that's what you want, Tone, in a big game from your player to do, mate. So he's got it in his locker, Tone. I don't like to say that because he's got a Tottenham top on, but
I would have taken him at Arsenal. I know he's linked with him, but obviously I think Eze's got he's a better player than him.
He's a better player. He's got to find his role, and like what Shuey's just said, there is a player in there with Eza, and I've got to, EBL says it as well constantly, and he's like taking the words out of my mouth. Like I said, the guy on X, I do recommend you follow him, guys, if you look for him. Talks a good game, knows his football, but he agrees with what I'm saying, and I've said from the start of the season. I just think Trossard is kind of at a purple patch. He's a teacher's pet in a sense that he knows, I can do that, so he defaults to Trossard. Eza will find that role, and actually he's got to work as well at it, and every player has to, you know what I mean? So I still think he can make it, guys. I mean, and as I say, like Gyökeres, you've all seen that people are running him down and doing certain stuff, but this guy will score goals when the opportunities are given to him, and I think Kai can have that tone. I think Eza can step up and also link well with him. It's obviously it's just Saka at the moment. There's certain things he needs to work on in terms of his link up with Gyökeres, but I think Kai will help him, dude. There's
Yeah.
It's a healthy discussion. This is not a disagreement. It's
No, it's
not
a
a
good
diss. It's
discussion.
not a diss for Trossard. It's not a diss for Martinelli, not playing on the left wing. It's not a diss for Trossard, Ødegaard, whatever. It's just a healthy debate, Bones. But that's what I think we have to focus on. If you have to focus on that as it will not get into the form that people like myself and Shuri. I know you like him as well, Tone, and I know a lot of Gooners do. I want him to succeed because he's an Arsenal boy. He's just got to also put it in, but he's got
Yeah.
to start. Arteta's got to start playing in Bones.
Yeah. Just Penny's put Cruz, Modric, any big 8, number 10 from Spain do this thing, but what works for them is what they can do it because they have like Ballon d'Or level attackers. We don't. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I know that. That's
Yeah.
it. It's definitely. This is the thing.
Sharice
Yeah,
put,
you're not going
Sharice
to
put
have
the problem with
elite
our
level.
attackers, they go watch his everything performance is going to take the onus like that and say I'm the attacker to win these games and get us over the line. Yeah, Eze needs to put his finger out. Basically, I think
It has to. It works in both ways. I can sit here and I can be bigging him up, but he has to do it. It's
yeah.
all about them. It's all about mentality for him.
If Jasper, if you watch Arsenal versus Madrid, Odegaard, Modric were both literally doing the same thing. It was like a copy, just in different. Yeah, I see what you mean. They were both dropping and getting the ball. Things with Modric though, he can play a deep line pass. When did you see Odegaard switch to play?
The thing is, as well, Modric could get away with playing that, and this is what I keep saying, and that he is a left eight, Erdegaard, but is he a left eight in the Premier League? This is the question. When he's in the number 10, he leads the press. He's not asked to do a physical presence and start putting the tackles in. And that's maybe is that Mikel Arteta realizing that, look, I need him on the ball, but he's not a physical eight that I need, so
Yeah,
he doesn't put him
yeah,
there.
yeah,
And this is, you can, to everybody's eyes, he's an 8, but has he got the physical? And maybe that hides his physical deficiencies, putting him in the 10 zone. And that's why he's done it for so long, But he's an 8.
yeah,
He's an 8. He's a Modric. He's a Cruz. But has he got that? He's got the nous to take it away from people, but has he got the upper body strength to deal with a physical challenge of a Nottingham Forest away? On a rainy Sunday evening? Maybe not. It's just one of them things, But yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to kind
yeah,
of.
yeah. No, Simmons was able to do that because he literally played that 10 minutes in the opposition's half. They were going for it, wouldn't they? So it opened it up for him a little bit. What goes against Eze is that there are players who are teachers' pets and some who perform to stay. Eze does neither. No, he does his own thing. You can't.
100%.
Very,
There's a lot
very
of
good
teachers'
comment.
pets in the team.
Welcome to the show, Mohammed.
Thanks, Mohammed.
Simmons did fuck all last night. Okay, everyone's entitled to their opinions. He was good in spells.
I think it was the second half. I think in the second
What
half,
I've seen of him, anyway. I've not watched Tottenham.
he's one of them. He is, again, Tone. You know what it is. What you can also say is he is like an Ødegaard in the sense that he's going to be physically brushed off the ball. He has to use his footballing ability to get where he's got to be. So, but listen, we've got Eza. I'm happy with Eza. I think, but a player like Simmons, he's one that he needs a bit more space. Simmons could develop into kind of like a Modric kind of player, but you have to surround him with a couple of physical players and play him in a midfield 3. Personally, he's that kind of player, Tone. But he could be there. He could be their new Modric, but it's the strength. The Premier League has become a tactical and physical game now. It can sometimes negate them, like Erdegaard's finding out. You know what I mean?
Cool. Well, that's all better. We've been on for an hour. Well, time flies when you're having fun, guys. Eze will make it here. Just I feel he has all the tools just to relax compared to Martinelli.
Yeah.
Look at Nelly. He will try things they might not work, but I won't fault the effort. Some from with same with Ethan. Yeah, no, I completely agree. He is relaxed. He is, but he's he's probably our nearest person you'd find to Özil in this.
Do relax state, and
Yeah.
Arteta doesn't like that tone, and this is the thing. He has to adapt to Mikel's way of working. He had it all his own way in Crystal Palace because the other lot knew that he was one of the star players, and he had. And you come to Arsenal, mate, you've got to work for it. So I will be in agreement that I believe he'll make it, but I also think it's 50-50. Adapt to the system. System's got to also adapt to him, but he has to work harder.
Yeah.
And do what Trossard does.
That's been Erdegaard just needs to eat more.
I don't know. He's a vegetarian. Is he a vegetarian, Tone?
He's probably gone vegan, and he or something.
He looks thin. Now listen,
mate, he is like a paper bag.
Me and you, we enjoyed our Chinese.
Adama Traore would fucking sling him over the stand. He'd be clearing the Emirates if he got hold of him.
I get people, and we're not here either, by the way, to slag vegans off.
Yeah,
and Mohammed, you're right.
Max Dalman is the real deal, mate. We just got, I think, manage him properly. But yeah, he's going to be a brilliant.
Manage him properly, mate. We won't need to worry about it when and Marino, mate. You know,
Saka and Madueke into one in terms of ability because he'll happily drive at players. Garney's left.
It'll be good to see if he's fit enough to play for Wigan, Bones, wouldn't it? He's on the bench.
He gets you off your seat, doesn't he? He's just one of them players. He's got the boys.
We have to temper it though, because we have to temper it. But I still believe sort of like you've got some. Him and Ethan Wanyeri.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Listen, we appreciate it. As Tony said earlier in the show, if you did, you may have missed it. Listen, likes, subscribe. If tell your friends as well, guys. We're here to talk football. We're not here to make a name. You don't have a big how Tony writes these things. We're not here we're just here to talk football. Yeah. If you like it, we appreciate it.
Come and join us for the watch along, Mohammed.
Come and join us for the watch along, matey. Yeah, 100%.
Even Pedri would look like Simmons and Odegaard in the Prem. Yeah,
100%. Pedri is a fantastic footballer. You're 100% right with that. He would look bang average. It is right. It's right. It's midfielder, Bones.
My theory is going to come correct. I've got a way the Premier League going now. These fancy footballers in Spain, even Italy, some France, they won't come to the Premier League because you do not get the time that you do.
Agree, Jazz, by the way. Keep saying what you're saying, mate. Keep your point. Sorry.
I generally don't. Even the strikers, I think Alvarez, who probably would come to us, right? We offered the money, but he'll have the same start as your career. He'll have no time. He'll get clattered every 5 minutes. And it'll just be the Premier League now because every team it's more everyone's shored up defensively. There's not many goals being shipped in games. How many games this season have you seen 6 goals scored?
Yeah,
can't think of any, can you? Really? There's
the tactics. As I say, the tactics have gone up. Everything's changed, Bones.
I see a stat the other day, Wayne. This Premier League season has had the most 0-0s in Premier League history.
Yep. Which unfortunately you will do, Tone. It's what it is as well. Is we'll get Jazzville. We will get to this point. Tony will read it out. I just want to I'll let Tony have his say because I can waffle on. I like to let Tony have it, and I just like to back you up on that, Tone. But going back again and listen, I don't want to go back. Listen, this is the here and now. But you look at things. The height of tactical nous, Tone, was going 4-5-1. And sitting a defensive midfielder back in your front of your back four, and having having them banks there, and having him sort of like nip into a free. And we had 2 strikers. It used to be 4-4-2. Tone is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola had a 4-3-3 in the Continental in Barcelona. Obviously, the players were there, and that's what it was. Wenger tried, as I said in previous streams, he tried to adopt it, but the tactics have come far along. People are saying the 4-4-2 is coming back, but that will mean that you'll need someone who can be physical, 2 physical up front, people up front. it's a physical battle now, Tone, and tactics, and everyone's tactics negates the other team's tactics. You know, look at that. Like, obviously, if we didn't want to concede, and we wouldn't wanted to, but against Nottingham Forest, a 0-0, we had control, but we didn't have the end product. But Nottingham Forest negated it by, you know, Sean Dyche's the oldest bloody, you know, he does it all the time. He's the king of it.
Yeah,
And he always frustrates Arsenal. But this
he's
is what it's
a
all
Tony
about
Pulis
now.
of Premier League now, and
He's Tony. We've lost Tony Pulis, but he's making up for it. But the thing is, Tony, is everyone's doing tactics that negates the other, you know, other teams' tactics. You're going to get them all the time.
Yeah,
we fall for it, you know. Obviously, some teams can unlock it, but yeah, you're right, Tony. The game's moved on, mate, and tactics of everyone's stopping everyone from playing. It's the game of the game.
Yeah,
but, you know,
yeah.
it is what it is.
We'll slowly start shutting the stream down, guys. Been on for over an hour. Arteta needs to follow Pep. Pep puts Rodri, Bernardo, Cherki together. We have a better version of that in Rice, Odegaard, and Eze. They just need to play together. Yeah, I think Arteta's too risk averse to come.
There's no argument with that. I mean, obviously, signing
from number 10,
fantastic player. Yeah,
very exciting. They are, mate. Ethan's really good. Ethan,
they are, my friend. They really are. It's the future of the football club right there, and that's why they need to be managed. If Max doesn't make it next year, Tone, in terms of getting into the squad as often as he would like, do the same thing you've done with
him alone. Yeah, he
put
does
him out alone, give him a 6 month or whatever. But listen, you know, they are the future.
Definitely a player. You know, Shreves put the system is tailored for Eze. Lock in. I'm telling you, Arteta would not sign you and give you no number 10 for no reason. Lock in, my guy. We have trophies to win. You need to get him on the plane for World Cup. Yeah. At the moment,
he's got to exactly, Shuri. It's in his context. Get in there, and if you can't lock down the number 10 because Kai's back, go and lock down the left wing. Right?
He's a good
do
player.
It yourself, 100%, Shuri. But I've what Tony will tell you, and I've said before. I mean, I've said it to countless people. Anyone that spoke to me that I've liked Eze for a while, and I think, you know, he's just that kind of different maverick that we need. You know what I mean? He's got to put that. It's up to him now. But yeah, good point. Shuri.
Yeah, that's why when teams like Barca come to play their game, they played Newcastle out of the park just by keeping possession. Yeah,
that's it, mate.
True.
That is it, mate.
That's why Champions League is a different kettle of fish.
It's a different kettle of fish in the Champions League, guys.
If 4-4-2, all of Cherki, Odegaard, Eze, Simmons, Bruno will be done. Bruno might survive because he's Bruno. True.
Yeah, listen, no. I mean, I get what you say. Also, as well, though, Jazz, for you in a 4-4-2, I know you say not so much as you come back. I mean, you don't. What it is you can have you'd have a support striker or the false nine. Eze can do a support striker role, is what I'm saying to Jazz for as well. You don't want two out and out strikers, but you need that strong striker. Do you know what I mean? And that's obviously what it is with us. Is we've got the option now. But as a will in a sense, but you can adapt. You have to adapt, and Eze's more than capable of playing from that left. So I don't think that will naturally kill him. Bruno Fernandes and Odegaard Simmons are 10s in a different mould. Yeah, I get you. But that 10 can be moulded into a support striker, which means you can adapt to a 4-4-2 in a sense. So a 4-4-2 shouldn't be I don't mean a 4-4-2 by a striker, matey, as in two strikers. I mean, you look at it as well, Tone, and sorry, guys, again, going back, but Dennis Bergkamp wasn't an out-and-out striker. He was an attacking midfielder, support striker, you know, and that worked with Thierry Henry. Something like that should come back in the sense that you have that player. Eze can play that role. Fernandes can play that role. Is in support striker, attacking mid, just, you know, crashing the box. You need a box crasher. Not a guy like an Odegaard, as I say, was a number 8. As for this football club, we should look to be going, in my opinion now, we should look to be going to that support striker, false 9 kind of support role, basically, is what I'm trying to waffle on about.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it in 4-4-2 or Jazz, is what I'm saying, mate. Like two strikers up top, two flat-out strikers is what
I think the style of football is gonna change in it's moving in a defensive mode at the moment. I think it's gone from being very.
This is what I'm saying. You need to have an unlocker. You need to have a full-on a striker that's going to get you 30 goals, and you're attacking midfielder, support striker.
Even Haaland's been struggling the last couple of games.
Exactly. There's no coincidence.
Mohamed's put, in my opinion, Barca are favourite for the UCL. Yeah.
Could be, mate. Yeah, under what's his name? Yeah.
Sesko looking better. What do you think? Joe, what? I ain't seen enough of the guy I think to pass judgment. He got a good goal against Fulham the other day. Good finish. Under a lot of pressure. Yeah, you can't really take anything away from me. He's come to a big club. He's got a.
The thing is with it is he's starting to look better because a manager is playing to his strengths. For that one of Jazz though, it's such a catch-22 because like I've said, is you've got that type of player. You've got that type of player in Kai Havertz, and you don't again lay 65 mil. The goalposts were moved financially by Red Bull, who he was playing, the team who he's playing for, and we just and what Berta works on is he works on players that are in the 60-65 million bracket. So if there's players being quoted at 100 million in the summer, we're not getting them. Yeah. In the summer, he was trying to work a deal out with these guys, and it's also Sesko as well. He signed a new contract. We were well banging after him. I think it was not this summer gone, the last summer. And then it's like, oh, Arsenal bang on Sesko, signed a new contract. And then in January, as you remember, we needed a striker. We was on it. No, I want to stay. Listen, whether it's his agent, whatever it is, Sesko was coming to Arsenal in all intents and purposes, Tone, but the goalposts were moved. So you've gone for a Gyökeres, who is a different outlet, different type of striker, but I still think it's all in the mentality. It's Sesko in the long run, yeah, but you have a guy in Gyökeres at this moment in time that is just coming into it, guys. He's bedding into the team, and they could be neck and neck in the goal scoring charts. But as much as you say, oh, Sesko's younger, he can go for a purple patch. He might not have the mentality to keep it, Tone. Like, look at Haaland. Haaland's an absolute beast in terms of goal scoring, but he's going for a patch like everyone does. He's a young lad, this Sesko. It's not guaranteed he's going to be hitting the heights. Gyökeres has come from a lower league, he's got everything against him. Everyone's against him. And he's got that mentality to keep going. Whether he's had a shit game or not, he'll keep going. As Sesko got that. As Sesko going to carry
He's
this
still
on.
young, isn't he? He's still young.
He's got a lot to go. He's got a lot to learn. But yeah,
We'll start shutting it down, mate, and then it's getting on. Well,
yeah, go on, Bones. Yes, I know we've got to go. Yeah, go on, mate.
Rumours that Real Madrid
might have a lot of comments we have to get through. Sorry, mate. You read them out.
There are rumours that Madrid might want Odegaard back to play behind Jude. Yeah, Joe, what? Actually, I'll get on to Wayne's predictions after, and we'll close the show down. But Odegaard, am I pronouncing that correctly? The Madrid attacking midfielder, Odegaard.
Who's that, dude?
He's a youngster, Turkish. What?
Is
Madrid.
He? Oh, Odegaard. Sorry.
Yeah. So he watches space, right? I've got a massive fear that if Odegaard is going to go back to Madrid, we'll do a deal for him the other way.
Listen. He started. The boy had from 15, 16 years old. Arsene Wenger gave him a project.
He's got Turkey vibes, isn't he? That geezer as well.
And Arda Güler, we have been sniffing around him. Yildiz will be £100 million player. Will Berta pay that kind of money? Maybe not. But Güler could be a very good sort of option to kind of go, look, you're going back to Real Madrid. It didn't quite work out, but there's a role for Odegaard at Real Madrid. And I'm sure we're wishing the best, and we'll get Arda Güler in return. Could be a good thing. Good chat, Bones. You heard it here first. From Tony, though.
Predictions for tomorrow.
I'm going to go 2-0 to the Gunners. I think we should come out the traps, get a goal, get them coming out. They'll flop again, and we'll get a second goal, and we'll start taking some players off in 60, 75 minutes. They might have a few opportunities, but we'll shut it down. 2-0 to the Gunners. Yeah,
I'm going to go 2-1. I think we'll win on that. I don't think it'll go extra time penalties, but hopefully not. But yeah, we'll be able to watch along tomorrow, guys. So
please come and join us, guys, as well.
7:30, hopefully. 7:30, hopefully. Odegaard can generally go back. He was sold because there were Cruz, Modric in front of him. now there is no one in number 8. So yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, listen,
I
he
agree.
will be a phenomenal Real Madrid number 8 if he
They
does.
were, yeah, in Spain he'll do a good job. I think there's space there. Just Penny's put 2-2. We will score. Kepa being such a nice guy will donate 2 goals to Chelsea,
like he did last time.
I've got a massive feeling he won't be in the sticks tomorrow. I really do. I think Arteta's going to want to secure it. So I think he's going to go 3-11. But let's see what happens. Guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Join us tomorrow for the watch along. It's going to be a big game. Hopefully we'll be in Wembley, going to Wembley for the final. Probably against City on Wednesday, but let's do our jobs as always. And we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. All the best.